6 o'clock. It is 6 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. Will clerk call the roll, please?
Councilwoman Diamond.
Present.
Mayor Patricelli.
Present. Ask everybody to stand. We'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll ask that we read the minutes of the previous meeting.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll second that. Full roll.
Councilwoman Diamond.
In favor?
Mayor Patricelli.
In favor. As you can see tonight, we're short one councilman. As you know, Peter Torrencello left the council to now take the judgeship for the city of Watervliet. His swearing in was last Thursday, I believe it was. Yep, last Thursday, and we're wishing him well. Tonight is the last day that we had asked anyone from the city of Watervliet to submit a letter of interest or resume for the council position. We received 4 as of tonight, and so we'll be discussing that and making a decision shortly for hopefully the next meeting. Okay? All right, well, we'll go into officers of reports and committees.
All right, I just got 4 quick items. Last meeting we talked about the installation of the docks at Hudson Shores. They went in successfully last Tuesday, and as I went by a couple of times during lunch this past week, I could see people out there enjoying the docks once again. Progress continues on the splash pad. You can see that one tower is just about complete. And I know he's been held back a few days to finish that one, but they're ready to progress tomorrow and hopefully the following week. The turbidity letter, which was going out to all the residents and to the property owners, we're starting to get some calls into City Hall. I know I had 2, and Mayor, you said you had a couple this afternoon as well. That was the one that answered the problem that we had up at the filtration plant that we discussed at our last meeting, but that successfully went out to everyone. And then lastly, the RFQ has been completed for the Dutch Reformed Church. I think Dave is ready to post that so we can get engineers for the design of the bathrooms in the front, and also the document for the design of the potential courthouse for the feasibility study has gone to Albany County, or to Dave Delahunt, and I asked him to respond hopefully by May 6th so we can get any closeout from the court system and see where we go from here.
Just one thing on the letter regarding the turbidity issue. We also posted today and sent out a notice to everybody that we were able to. For anybody having any questions, there'll be a Zoom meeting for general questions next Thursday. I didn't think that the letter was going to hit out so fast out there, but we'll have the meeting on the Zoom meeting on Thursday. So anybody in the general public who has any meetings they want to tune into it, record it or whatever, it's going to be at noon. All right, noon. So. But that is on the City of Watervliet City Hall Facebook page and the emails that I had sent out. Okay. And so far, really, some of the people that responded back appreciated at least one. Everybody got a notice, even the renters. Felt because a lot of times they were excluded from not knowing, but normally it wasn't required that renters get notified. And we went the extra mile, made sure everybody was notified, and then, doing this, I think, is just to show, hey, look at, make sure everybody has any questions or concerns and let us know. All right. That's it. We'll go into old business.
Your Honor, there is no old business on this evening's agenda.
Okay, we'll hit new business then.
First order of new business is resolution number 37 for 2022. It's a resolution amending the annual budget for fiscal year 2021.
Mayor, I will make a motion that we move on resolution number 37 for 2022.
Okay,
So, in front of you,
a second.
sorry. In front of you, I gave you the accounts that need to be adjusted. Just kind of briefly hitting the big notes. We did a lot of work in City Hall as far as IT goes. So we have some, we need to raise our expenditure, budgeted expenditure for that particular line. Fire department overtime, there was a breakout of COVID, frankly, in the fire department that caused a lot of overtime that last week of the year. So we had a rather large increase in overtime. I'm increasing the park line for tree removals for a grant. We received a grant for it. We haven't received the funds yet, but we will. I'm expecting to receive them this year. So, but the expense hit last year because the work was done last year. The next line is the sanitation salaries. Originally, I was going to take, we had a member of the sanitation department retire, and he received a payout in early January of his sick time. Ordinarily, I would have taken that out of the accrual reserve, but the funds were available this year to take it out of our regular operating expenses, so that's what I'm opting to do. We're increasing our transfer to equipment reserve. This is for 2 highway trucks that we're purchasing and the police vehicle fit-ups. We purchased the police vehicles last year. Unfortunately, we have not been able to get them in for fit-ups yet, still to this day, I'm pretty sure. So we wanted to make sure that that expense hit the proper year. We wanted it to hit last year, but since they weren't done, I can't expense it in the normal. We bought it away, so I have to move it to a reserve account.
Is that because the place that's going to do
It's
the work?
just so busy.
They're so busy,
Yeah,
so we're not able to use those until they're,
until they've got their lights and sirens and all
Right.
that good stuff.
so we own them, okay.
Yep.
Wow.
The next line you're going to see is a pretty big line, $800,000. This is to transfer funds that we made during the year to some capital project funds. For example, the windows, the soffits, the bridge study. There's a closeout of an old project that has been sitting on our books that we haven't closed out yet. So we're going to do that. And in case you're wondering where that $800,000 is coming from, sales tax revenue was over budget by $785,000 last year. So a very big number from them. The decreasing lines aren't too difficult to understand. Then I'm going to move on to the water fund increasing expenses, which really should be on the other side. There's not too many of this, or too many of these. First one is increasing the water engineering projects. We were doing more work and investing more work into our water plant last year. Next line is fees for Albany Engineering that came in late in December of 2021. And then the other big item we're transferring to reserve again for items that we kind of set aside for, like the weed eater and Dave's truck and the barge and transporter that we just haven't received yet.
Any word on that transporter, the conveyor belt thing, on whether or not we can get that one from, we were talking about it the other day, I think.
Yeah, I left a message for Steve today. That was a conversation Amanda and I had. We could buy that outright, versus, because it's already in use somewhere else.
Yeah,
I didn't get a call back from them yet, but I'm going to stay on top of them too. Because like I said before and talked to you yesterday about it, is motors are just not in hand right now. and
Right
It puts
now,
it
the
right out.
motors.
Yeah. So our only hope is to find something out in the community right now somewhere. So,
okay. My God. It's all those parts that probably aren't really made
Yeah,
here, and, yeah,
crazy.
it is. All right, thank you.
And that's all I have to say about this. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. Go back over to that 800,000 for the transfer of funds again.
Yep.
Explain what you're doing with that.
So we are anticipating, we have a rather large surplus in 2021 because, as I said,
Right.
sales tax and among many other revenues that were way higher than expected. So we're moving some of those funds into capital project funds. We have the funds available to do the windows and the soffits. And frankly, we're waiting on state approval for some grants, and
Well,
it's taking more time than we can really handle. At this point, we need the windows. We need the soffits repaired.
Well,
We need-
yeah,
we
we needed that 10 years ago, but the windows right now, we haven't received. I thought we were going to have a bid approval for that.
yeah, I did not receive that from Dominic
Right.
to do that. And I think one of the things we were waiting on was him working with the
Right, that was like a week ago or
Right.
more. Yeah.
Right, and he just didn't give us the thing on a timely basis to get it on to tonight, so more than likely we'll have something for the next meeting in May, to go forward.
Okay. But that has nothing to do with the grants. We're not doing anything with the grants.
Well,
with the
no, we
windows.
did get a grant, one of the SAM's grants was, I think, about $135,000
Right.
for windows,
Right,
and then a portion of that was soffits.
right.
And we're waiting on that, and we already got the bids in for, and approved one of them for $117,000
For the soffits.
for the soffits.
Correct.
But we can't enter into a contract until we get the money. So with our conversation is let's enter into the contract, get that project going, and we'll reallocate those monies elsewhere as the time comes.
So we're not going to use the SAM grant money for the soffit?
I'd like to get this work done.
Who's holding up the SAM grant?
It's just waiting to be allocated from DASNY and over to us. So that's why I said I think, we went fast, moving fast to try to get projects done. We didn't have the money in hand to continue to go forward as with the splash pad. But now that we have the money, we could reallocate other funds.
And once that grant money is released, we would get that money and we can use it for something else? I mean, it doesn't have to be specifically then for soffits,
Well,
right?
We have to get approval for.
we have to get approval to reallocate the money. Right now, it's in there for soffits.
Right.
And gutter work.
Yeah.
That's $117,000.
Right. Okay.
So if we expedited, or if we signed a contract, that negates the thing, just like we did with the splash pad. That money was there to be allocated. We got the gift from Scott Earl, and we moved forward that way. So that money was lost because we already went into a contract to go forward. So that 125 needs to be reallocated.
Right, that we had talked about. I don't remember.
Yeah, same with the windows. We decided.
Well,
to
I
go
know the
forward.
windows,
Yeah,
the windows.
we decided
The
to go forward.
soffits, I'm under the impression we were using the SAM's grant
We were
for.
going to. Yeah, but I'd like to get moving on the project so we can
Right.
close that off. We're waiting, and the same thing we did with because we added it into budget for next 5 years, was the cameras. The police chief was hot on going forward to get it in so the pricing wouldn't go up. over
Right.
the years. That was 75, I think it was, that we were
Yeah.
considering, along with potential grant from their side.
Yep.
So because we were able to fit that into budget, that didn't have a budgetary implication, we opted to do that. So we have to reallocate various monies from those SAMS grants now, which I have to go to Senator Breslin first for because he offered it to us.
All right, none of that will affect this anyway, but can we talk to, about this tomorrow, find out about the 117?
Yeah, I can give Jermaine a call tomorrow and see, where it's,
Yeah, I would,
what's from a timing perspective.
Jermaine is,
Jermaine is at DASNY.
who's he?
He's our contract manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's above Jermaine?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know who he.
That's what I think we need to find out.
Okay.
I think that's something we need to, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely, and that's not anybody's here fault. I think it's just ridiculous. We gotta wait and go through this.
We had it all set and ready, and unfortunately, the person I was working with got moved to another position.
Right,
within
that's not our
DASNY.
problem, that's theirs.
And I understand that, and we started off with another person asking the same damn questions, we did before.
It's just the same as FERC, you go
Yeah.
through the same thing over and over again. It's not their time, it's our money.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can move somebody tomorrow. I have no problem. Matter of fact, we might even go down for a visit.
Good luck, Anthony.
It's all right. It's all right. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions you have?
Nope.
And feel free to email me any questions if you're thinking of them later.
Okay. If there's other questions, call the roll, please.
Councilwoman Dunn,
In favor?
Mayor Patrichelli.
In favor.
Resolution number 38 for 2022 is a resolution authorizing and approving the transfer of up to $150,000 from the Equipment Reserve, HRA, to be used for the purchase of two 2022 Chevy Silverado 3500 HD trucks.
Mayor, I will make a motion that we move on resolution number 38 for 2022.
I'll second it.
So part of the funding that was approved to transfer to the equipment reserve is coming back out to pay for these trucks.
Right.
Just a timing issue.
Okay. Okay. Questions?
No questions?
Okay.
No.
Call the roll.
Councilwoman Dunn,
In favor?
Mayor Patrichelli.
In favor.
Resolution number 39 for 2022 is a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Watervliet and Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute for the use of the boathouse located at Hudson Shores Park.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we move on resolution number 39 for 2022.
I'll second that.
So now that the docks are back in and RPI is also back in with the crew program, this is the contract agreement for that, as well as paying their portion of putting the docks in to the water. As soon as this is approved by the council, we will ship this off to Steve at RPI and get that moving forward.
Good. Okay.
Let's go with
Right.
it. No questions?
Call the roll.
Councilwoman Dunn,
In favor?
Mayor Patrichelli.
In favor.
Resolution number 40 for 2022, a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Watervliet and Verity Engineering regarding Hudson Shore project.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we move on resolution number 40 for 2022.
I'll second that.
You'll remember Resolution 23 for 2022 that we passed on March 3rd. This was with Alta Engineering, who for, I think at the time was $66,000. We gave the same contract that we're now awarding to Verity for, and that's for the business continuity in the project itself. Alta Engineering has made some changes to the Troy offices and closed, and the principal of that project moved over to Verity. So again, in order to keep business continuity, we're moving that contract over to Verity Engineering.
Good.
So Alta is
One.
no longer.
Yeah, they have a Clifton Park office, which is a home office with one person. But we're moving everything over to the principal that was guiding those projects.
Okay.
Hudson Shores, the bridge study, and all those. The only one that Alta will be keeping because the Clifton Park office was doing the traffic design for the moving from 6th Avenue to 5th Avenue, the traffic light. So
Okay,
we'll keep that with them because that's the traffic engineer.
okay. All right.
Okay. Go ahead, call the roll, please.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Mayor Patricella.
In favor.
Your Honor, that concludes the new business on this evening's agenda.
And I'm assuming there's nothing under appropriations accounting since we've already covered it.
We've already covered it.
Okay. Then we'll have the open public comment period.
At this time, the council has approved a public comment period. If you wish to address the council, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and you will have 2 minutes with which to speak.
Seeing there's no here to have a public comment period, I'll just close the public comment period. And I'll have, just let you know that on May 5th is our next council meeting. And I'll ask for a motion to adjourn unless you have anything else to talk about.
Nothing else. I will make a motion that we adjourn the
On
meeting.
Saturday?
Oh, we could just mention Saturday is our citywide cleanup. We've have probably about 10 teams going out around the city. We'll be starting at 9 o'clock. We've engaged the services of a cook for lunch, and that cook will be there with his white hat and gloves. Joe?
Yes, I'll be there.
Okay, you're ready.
I was voluntold.
Voluntold.
That's okay.
No.
I got some more than voluntold for
What are you doing
Saturday.
Saturday, Lauren?
Saturday's my birthday, actually. Oh my gosh, we'll have a cake.
You're the 23rd. Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
All right, I'll second it. Call the roll, please.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Mayor Patricella.
In favor. Okay, thank you again. Again, the next meeting is May 5th.